it turned out really good, and what I'm hearing from people is that it was a good time. We want to let you know and keep in mind with the Wisdom Step Conference that will be coming June 13th through the 15th. And we'd like to, as a courtesy, to have as many of our tribal people come in and at least welcome the people that are coming. We, at last count, I think we had 352 signed up, so we're bringing in a lot of people, a lot of elders from throughout the state of Minnesota, native elders. And if for those that don't know, Wisdom Steps is a preventive health program that provides service to natives throughout the state of Minnesota. Unfortunately, we only have 20 members that are eligible to go. And it's very easy to become a part, 55 and up, meet the health and walk requirements, that's all. But, you know, we have a hard time, but that's what's set with their bylaws and policies and so forth. So we have to abide by them. And we fought to have our conference come here. So we're really going to be proud and have a good program. We've been working on that pretty regularly.
Tito, when you get an agenda, can you get us the agenda?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, we just finished up. I think we're about ready to put it.
Thank you.
On paper. So as soon as I get that, you guys will get first pick.
Yeah, let us know what we can do to be good hosts too.
Yes.
Okay.
What are the
I'll let
dates?
you know.
13th to the 15th.
Okay.
June.
Yeah, whatever we can do to make it good, an event, yeah.
It's a fun time, plus it's a learning time for our elders. So I'm encouraging all and any other elders that are 55 and up to become a part of the program. You can contact either myself, Polly Neeson, who works for the tribe, or Tim Rindle, who is my alternate.
Tito, you will need busing too then?
Pardon?
Busing?
We will need some help with transportation. Some of them that are out a little ways. We didn't secure hotel rooms. I only had one request from quite a ways out that wanted a room, but we're all full now. There's nothing available, so yes,
They
thank
can
you.
stay at Eugene's.
Hey.
No.
But I would appreciate some help in getting,
I just want to make sure that we get it together before
yeah,
that time.
So you probably need like a block of rooms reserved then, or?
we already,
You're good?
there's nothing available. We used up all the rooms,
Oh, okay.
so
There's the executive.
but we can. Usually for ones that are close on their particular reservation, we transport them in. Because it's, the rooms are pretty costly for it. But transportation, yes, I'd appreciate help with that. And I can work with you, Annie, on that. Okay, thank you for all those also who came to our meeting on Tuesday. I think it was a good meeting. We sometimes hit you guys hard with our concerns, but we get, we come back with a good understanding, hopefully, between all of us. That's what we're all about, is advocating for our elders and making sure that services are provided for them. One thing I'm concerned about is, and I had kind of an experience with this myself, going to enrollments and trying to get some family history information. My God, the things I had to go through to even try to get that, forms to fill out and contact this one online. They said, I said, wait a minute now, we still haven't had our training for using our computers, so
I thought you did.
we had one, just kinda to open and all that, but we have to have further training on that. And I know it's been a while, but through the winter, it was very difficult too to get that kind of stuff set up because of all the weather, bad weather and so forth. We hope to get something arranged, and then, I don't know, we got all these summer things that are going on too, so. But if you can figure out some kind of way that would make it easier for elders to get help in getting the information, because I ended up having to ask Mia to help me, and I have to go apparently to the MCT to get some information, you know, so, but we should have our own records here so we can get that information. And actually what I was seeking for was, I was asked by someone to get some information, and it pertains to my family too, because I'm related there. History, so we could fix, when we're fixing up the cemeteries, for example. And one of, you know, a lot of those old crosses that are so beaten up, we don't even know who they are anymore. We want to find that family history information so we can try to make something, somewhat of a cross or whatever to put there so they're recognized. Okay? Our bus, we like to know what's happening with the bus, because you know, and especially now, all these things that we want to go to the firelight camp on the 28th at Clearwater. There's going to be the elders picnic coming up. All these things are coming up so fast, and there's that, oh, what was it, that blessing of,
Wild rice.
no, not that one, the one at
Landings.
Itasca. We need help for that too, to get up there. Many of us went, and there was people from all over, different cultures, but we all prayed together at the headwaters. And it was a beautiful time, just like we do when we go to the bless our lakes. Beautiful, and that's what we want to do, is recognize and honor our ceremonies that are important to us. We talk about our culture, that's it. You know, we need to do that. We lost so many elders again this year. It's hard to feel that we're gonna lose all that history that went with them. So history also is a big part of that, and making sure that we try to find a way to protect that history that we're losing fast. There was a program, I think it's at Minneapolis, that's coming up. Many elders asked if they could go there. Get some transportation to it. Some kind of ceremony, and I had it written down here. You remember that? It was talked about at the meeting in Minneapolis. I don't know if it was gonna be down at you remember that?
Minnehaha Park.
Minnehaha Park, I think. So,
Their picnic, the urban one?
Yeah.
Okay.
because we don't get together with them enough, and that's important too. so we can, socialize and figure out what their needs are too, and maybe try to work together to get things resolved there. And of course, Indian Health Service, you guys love it when I mention that. It's our understanding now that Lori is putting together and has completed the list of concerns that we had, and was gonna present them to Dan Fry to see what will become of that. Unfortunately, I don't have too much faith in that, but we'll see where that goes. We had many issues again that were brought up at our meeting, and we always have lots of good people that come and do presentations. I'm asked all the time if they can come now. I've got 2 different ones that wanna come in June to present, offer some kind of new services to, that will benefit the elders. I see Mike Heisler is here, and we always have questions about housing, of course, and our concerns that he can take with him. And we wanna do this gently at first.
I appreciate that.
But, so many things again, our Mother's Day powwow, I think that's when, next weekend?
Yeah, it's,
That's next weekend.
next weekend.
Okay, what about transportation for some of the folks, especially in the units that don't have transportation?
Yeah, I'm gonna address it with.
Buses don't run on weekends,
I'll
so
address it with stuff.
if you can do something with that, we'd appreciate it. Now I'm gonna ask, Miss, do you have anything to add? Sam? No? No? My goodness.
Oh, I tied one up the other day.
Okay,
I'd like to address, this is on, I'd like to just address the bus situation. I don't have an answer for you on where the bus is at, but I do have an answer for you on, transportation. I did meet with Scott Stevens yesterday, and since you guys with that Dan, the guy from the casino here that drives you guys to the MCT, I had asked Scott, I said, what's the chances of, not just assigning him, but if we give you enough time, ahead of time, to get him to drive you guys to a lot of these events, what's the chance of him doing that? And he said it's a really good chance, because their buses out here, they're not using them as much as they did before. So he said that if we give them enough, if the elders give them enough time, they can set up to where Dan can be available and he can have a bus available for you guys to go for all these events like this. Okay, so that's, I wanted to give you a heads up on that. I did talk to Scott yesterday, and he did say that they can do that, so. It's not replacing your new bus, it's what we're doing right now is we're trying to accommodate you guys as best we can, and you guys all like Dan, I know he takes you, it's like the 3rd time he's taking you to MCT meeting. But if you could get to Lori on these events, give us a schedule of events that you wanna go to.
okay,
And then what we could do is we could reach out to Scott, and Scott will make it happen, so.
that's wonderful, because Dan has been so good and helpful with the elders. He's a good bus driver as well as his personality, so.
It just takes out all the complications of when you have your bus, then you have to have a CDL driver, you have to hire somebody to drive the bus for you. This takes that all out.
Well, for the buses here, the bus we ordered
that's right, you
does
don't need a
not
CDL, okay,
require CDL.
yeah.
And we can still have
What
Sam.
bus did you order? No, I'm sorry.
It's been approved, I've got the statement from, and Mike Bowman had come in and said that he had gotten the okay from you guys to go ahead with that.
Okay, and then just add the Mother's Day Powell to also too, we could maybe get him to transport there too, so, okay?
Okay, and when are you gonna build our
Well, thank you, Tito, I appreciate your time today.
That's you?
Thank you, thank you.
No, we have, Lori's working with the Men's Acute Care, and she's working with them to get a structure for you guys. It won't be a permanent structure this year, but it'll be a temporary structure that will be able to help you guys this year for the Powell, but Lori, they're already working on it already, so, okay?
It's dry.
Thank you so much.
Mike,
Yeah,
me,
Whoa, hold on. Are you done, Tito?
Pretty much,
Hey, good, thank you. Next up on the agenda is the Elders Commission, and you're part of the commission, Missy? Okay.
No, I'm the council, but I had a question concerning the council. Can next TEC meeting, since we need enough time ahead to arrange a transportation, can the elders go?
put it on your schedule. Put it on your schedule and give it to Lori and we'll make it happen.
Okay, thank you.
all right. That's all I have, thank you.
Thank you. Miigwech, thank you, Elders. I appreciate your input and your, your concern, so thank you. Next up is Elders Commission. Anyone from the commission here?
they're all in Alaska.
Okay. All right, next on program updates. First one I have is Layered Housing. So we get Michael a microphone, so he has an update for us.
Before I get started, I guess, I know we're time crunched, so I could talk for hours about what I got going on at housing, so I'm gonna smush it down real fast here. Bonjour, Miigwech, for giving me this opportunity to speak today. I am excited to serve as the new White Earth Housing Director. I'll be faced with many challenges and will do my absolute best for housing and our tenants. I have many hopes and dreams for housing and hope to share them with you in the upcoming months. I just want to share some long and short-term goals and then move into my report. So for short-term goals, I really want to get us fully staffed. It's crucial we get staffing so that people aren't trying to fill a bunch of different roles and, we get overworked and then that's how things fall apart and we're not fulfilling the duties that we're supposed to be doing. I want to finish our current grants with minimal to no audit findings. So the grants that we're working on right now, I need to make sure that they get in compliance and that we're not getting dinged at the end of the year. I want to build some staff structure to housing. I want to kind of make sure that everybody's, how would I say that? If they're doing something, they need to answer for it. Let's put it that way. So
Accountability.
Accountability, exactly. So I want supervisors for each division and I want to depend on them to do the job they're supposed to be doing. So that means I can be in the office making sure we're getting funding and making sure that we're spending the dollars we're supposed to be doing and actually doing the role I'm supposed to be doing. I also want to build community trust. I want to make sure that you guys can trust housing. Say when I know it's been broken for a while, but I just want that you guys know you can trust housing when we're coming out there. It's gonna take a while to get that from you guys. I understand, but it is one of my goals. I want to get a good working relationship with our council and my housing board because it's crucial we work together as a team and all departments work together and help each other out to make housing better. My long-term goals, I want to bring in some grant dollars by working with HUD and building a good relationship with them. Currently, I've been in contact with a lot of HUD members and I'm trying to build a good relationship with those guys so that they can bring that to Washington and make sure that they know that we're stable and we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. I wanna fix the tenant turnover rate. I wanna do what I can to work with Jamie and our tenant service to see what our turnover rate is. Why are we turning over so bad? And I wanna keep people in housing and I wanna make sure that we're less boarded up houses and stuff like that, but so that that means we need to work together in the communities with all of our drug addiction teams and everything like that, and work together with police departments and make sure that people are following the lease agreements and we ain't kicking people out and tenants are, I wanna fix that turnover rate, cause for a long time I've seen just kind of a big snowball effect there. I wanna work on looking over our policies and go over our policies and make sure that they work for our housing and our people, because some policies that are written are, they just don't work for white Earth, as a people, so I wanna make sure it works for all of us together. I also wanna work on, building better homes for our communities. When we're getting grant dollars, I wanna make sure that we're getting, better built homes. Not stating that like the construction we have right now, I just wanna make sure that it's stick built, it's good insulation, less mold, that these houses were built a long time ago. That being said, I wanna put a lot of dollars into rehabbing these houses that do exist and try and get rid of this. It's gonna take years, guys, just know that, so, but I am working on it. And then, kinda rolling into my report here. We have 36 vacant units at the moment, 14 in the Riverland, 1 in Monoman, 5 in Rice Lake, 3 in Nadawash, 1 in White Earth, 11 in Ponsford, 1 in Elbow Lake, and 102 tenants currently on a waiting list. Spring cleanup, I know that this is kind of been up in the air. The dates are on the back here. We're gonna go with Rice Lake, Monoman, and Perch Lake in May 11th through the 12th. Nadawash and Elbow, May 18th through the 19th. Ponsford and Callaway, May 25th through the 26th. And White Earth and Strawberry Lake, June 1st through the 2nd. That being said, make sure that for our elders, spread the word to call housing and get on our list, because I know there's a little confusion on the cleanup this year because it's kind of a little different. We've always had other resources that have been out and about helping us with this, but this is, in a sense, this is housing's cleanup for right now, and me and Annie and Bevins had a meeting the other day and we kind of worked things out, and I'll kind of let Annie touch on her side of things because I'm not 100%, I don't want to speak for her on what she's doing, but for housing, have the elders call us, we'll get them on the list, put their stuff at the end of the road if they can, if you call them, guys will try and do what they can to get that garbage into Waban and get our communities cleaned up. Grants we're currently working on, we're currently working on the 2023 IHP, which is basically the dollars we spend every day. That is like our big roll with where all our dollars come out of. And then the next one is the 2020 Healthy Homes Project. That's actually, I got a lot of work to do on it, but I really feel confident we're gonna get that going soon. The 2020 Rice Lake Pond Bend, that is currently, I'd say about 75% complete. I'm hoping to be done by the end of the summer with that project. Minnesota Housing Finance Single Home 2020. Gary Stevens running that program. He's real close to finishing up those dollars, so I'm trying to go after getting that program again. The 2020 Federal Home Loan Low Rent. I got a lot of work to do with Federal Home Loan on our end of things, and I'm working on getting that up and started real soon. I'm not gonna touch too much on this stuff just because there's a lot that goes into it. You guys will start to see it in the communities once the work starts getting pushed out. Once I'm positive about our goals and things and what we're gonna be doing, then I'll express a little bit more on that. Some ARPA funds, I wanna get those houses up and running. We have a meeting with the council next week on how we're gonna spend those dollars down and make sure that gets started soon too. there's also a USDA Leech Lake project that I'm gonna hopefully get them dollars, finished spending. I'm not sure how much manpower we have, but there is our tribal members living in Leech Lake, and there's a couple dollars left sitting there that we can try and get spent. And then also our HUD Vash. Then just kind of what housing's been doing, we are currently looking into getting a new updated housing data system. This system's gonna ensure a lot better work order process. It's kind of an updated version of what we have right now, but it'll let our guys take pictures out in the field, update their work orders in the field. A lot better at tracking, and I'm hoping to get that as soon as we get, as soon as we make sure that that data system is what we want. We're also looking into getting better cameras up at the Riverland Apartments right now. I'm trying to work with the Shooting Star Casino here, and we're gonna try and get it underneath surveillance. But I reached out to our attorney the other day, and we're gonna be looking into getting better camera systems up there and hold some people accountable for things and not have broken cameras. So it's on the to-do list. Then day-to-day operations have been business as usual. We did have a house fire in Nadawash recently, and we're waiting on the fire marshal report to give us his report so we can get that turned into insurance, and then we'll go from there on that. But just so you guys know, I just want to put it up before I finish here that I'm thankful for you guys giving me this opportunity. I'm gonna give you guys all I got as I can, so I appreciate you not beating me up too much today. Thank you.
You ain't done yet.
Oh, yeah, question. Go ahead.
Couple things I wrote down here. I talked to you earlier about houses that need to be renovated and stuff, and at our last meeting, we talked about, putting people in houses, like we talked about this morning, putting it in as soon as the house gets finished, instead of waiting 2 months to, give them background checks, have the background checks done, and the day that house is done, hand them the keys and move them in. The other thing, EMP got a hold of me the other day, and all winter they had trouble with it, but it wasn't bad when they plowed the driveway, but a lot of these driveways out in Pine Point, at least 5 or 6 of them, got mud holes in them and deep where the EMP guy does not want to drive in even because the car will hit the bottom and stuff. Now, some of the houses are housing. Do you guys have a maintenance program for that?
For driveways?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look into that exactly, but currently I don't believe we do. We just have to come out of our IHP, which is gonna be dipping into whatever was funded before our time, so and the next time we can go forward, them are type of things that I would like to hear, so then I can plan for, putting dollars towards infrastructure and our driveway systems for the next grant season.
Michael, you can use, work with Mike Bowman too.
Absolutely.
And actually have an elders driveway fund. So,
Okay.
And that would
Michael Bowman.
Awesome.
be my next question. Home-owned homes. At least half of them are home-owned homes, and one is on a road that should be plowed by maintenance. I was hoping Mr. Bowman would be here today, so I tried to get a hold of him yesterday. If we could get him out there to get gravel put in these driveways so these people could get their home-delivered meals. The one family elder, I asked her son about a week or 2 ago, right after the snow left, I said, do you want that driveway fixed, or are you gonna put fish in that pond out at the end of your driveway? And he said, well, it's deep enough to put fish in. That's how deep it is. And I don't know, would Mr. Bowman be in charge of that?
Yeah, Curtis, will you work with Curtis? And then we'll set something up with elders and Bowman, so.
And the second issue was, and I don't know if this, garbage pickup. You guys pick up garbage for housing houses. That's paid through there. I've got about 3 elders that asked, how about home-owned houses? I think you and I, Mike, we talked about this when we were with the one guy that we talked to, asked you about that question, you know, if they could get garbage pickup.
We talked about the third-party billing through public health, or if we could identify all the elders that need a small dumpster. We talked about that. We're still in the works of talking about that with Pat Butler and Clinton Alexander.
Okay.
But also on that, just quickly, with home-owned elders, we have a reduced rate that they provide us. I think it's $17 a quarter, which is
Cheap.
you know, very reasonable. So at least that's in place for the ones that own their own homes.
Just reach out to Mike Bevins. Or even Gene Soaring at the sanitation.
All right. The other issue on similar, I'm not sure who's controlling the funds for that, homeowner rehabilitation. I know, I've got a couple elders that are wondering, they said for 2 years they've been waiting on it.
It's not housing, it's.
Yeah, you're talking about.
I'm not sure.
It's not housing anymore.
Under his program.
Waiters Builders.
Where's it at now?
White Builders.
Waiters Builders got it?
But there's multiple ones. We have a Minnesota Housing Finance one, but these guys picked up the elder.
Rehab funds. Both of them are, I'm pretty sure that, White Builders did all the assessments for the one. I got an update from, housing a couple weeks ago. They're already, they're already ordering material to start doing their rehabs on the RBC side. I'm not too, we gotta meet with White Builders again. I think they're having trouble finding contractors for these smaller jobs. So that's where we're at with that. We don't really have the most current update yet, but that's where it was about a month ago or so.
Okay. All right. I guess that would do it. And like I say, anytime you're welcome to come out anytime and we'll take a look.
Absolutely. When I really look forward to actually getting out in our communities and doing things. That's what I strive, and I love that part of my job. So once the book work and stuff gets kind of caught up and I can feel comfortable, I'm gonna start meeting with you guys in all the communities as much as I can and checking in on things.
Okay, thank you.
But miigwech.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that report, and you can have side conversations with elders. I know it's important that your updates are very crucial to our meetings and getting the word out to our public, and I think it's good that you're here now and that you're gonna get things rolling over there, so I appreciate that. So the council does too, so.
Thank you.
Miigwech.
Okay, next up I have the Indian Health Service. I know they sent in a written report and a smaller report. This is a few updates. Renovation, the other half of the outpatient clinic should be completed toward the beginning of June. Optometry, audiology services will move into the new space that they have. The next phase of the renovation will be where the business offices, patient benefit coordinators. We have a new family nurse practitioner starting May 21st. She's coming from us from another IHS site that has more than 20 years of services. That's all their reports on this one, so.
That's the IHS?
Yeah. You want a copy of it? You know? Okay, I can just do. All right, the next up is the Tribal College. They sent a report. We're talking about, I know they're having their graduation is next Thursday at 11 o'clock in the morning, or 2 p.m., I'm sorry. May 11th at 2 p.m. That's going to be held over at the college, I do believe. So I will be attending that.
I will.
I think most of the council will be over there, so I know that they've been doing a lot of good work over there. I know they had some wind damage to their solar field they're working on right now. I know that they're collaborating. They have some legislation in the state for some funding. So I know that they're doing some really good work over at the college. So that's what I have for the tribal college. And then next up I have is our delegation report. I know Patty Straub is here, and she'd like to give a little update on our delegation. So Patty, if you want to come up.
Who's got the mic? Mike.
Mike. Mike has the mic.
Feel Mike, Mike and Mike.
There's too many mics in a row.
Good morning, I'm Patty Straubin, I'm here representing the White Earth Constitution delegates. We've been in existence since 2018, we currently have 10 members, we have a full delegation now. We just recently had an election for District 3, 2 were selected, we're pending their acceptance. So anyway, I just wanted to let people know that we meet about 3 to 4 times a month as a delegate group on White Earth. And every 3rd Friday of each month, we attend a MCT delegate meeting, which is hosted by each reservation. The next meeting that White Earth will host will be in July of this year here at Shooting Star. I guess I don't, the location is to be determined, but I would assume it's here just for, people getting here, our members attending. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know that our group has had some very interesting, contentious issues that we're dealing with right now. One of the issues is that the upcoming proposed secretarial election, which will be, a determination will be made in July. The White Earth delegates have stated their support of our TEC resolution 3215 going forward to a secretarial election. There has been we are opposed in that decision. The other, I believe it's 4 or 5 reservations want to go forward with a referendum. The referendum that was done in June of 2021, that referendum did not meet the requirements for a secretarial election. White Earth members that we've discussed in meetings and had conversations with have stated that there should have been more additional options available to their to the membership requirements. So that, that's one of the reasons we are, we're not supportive of that. And another reason is that the White Earth delegates are not in support of each MCT reservation or band to determine their own membership by band ordinance. That is why we oppose that at this time. The TEC will be making a decision in July of 2023 regarding what they're going to go forward with on this. We are going to ask the Tribal Council, RBC here in White Earth, to provide transportation for our members to attend that meeting. I'm not sure of the date or the location at this point in time, so we'll get that out there on social media and stuff like that. We've been working with the White Earth Today newspaper and stuff, and Gary's been real helpful in getting things posted and whatever. So we'd like to get transportation for our members to attend that meeting.
What meeting was that again, Patty?
The TEC secretarial elections, I don't know, determination, I guess, meeting, which will be held, I don't know if it's quarterly or, I don't know, it'll be held in July is all I know. They've given us a July 1st deadline, the MCT delegate group, to come up with a decision. But White Earth at this time is still opposing that, and I think we'll continue to oppose going forward with that 2-question referendum, so.
Is it the, are you talking about the old referendum from 2016 to recognize all of Ojibwe blood, or are you talking?
No.
That's 3215.
That's resolution 3215. I got a copy here for you if you want.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry.
So, and another issue that we've been dealing with is the alliance document. They have a proposed alliance document that will take the place of the MCT Constitution. They've developed and they're rewriting this.
White Earth again is not in support of that because we feel that our members should have been, asked to see if they want us to revise our current constitution, rewrite it, reform it, or do they want us to go ahead with the alliance document? There is a 4 to 6 person subcommittee that is currently being drafted that alliance document. So I guess it's really, we weren't consulted as to if we wanted to go forward with that. And there's numerous unanswered questions, such as each reservation having their own constitution. The MCT trust land issue needs to be resolved. The elimination of the Secretary of Interior and how to replace and fill that role going forward. Plus, the 4 to 6 person subcommittee is the only group involved in writing the alliance document. And so we're not in support of that. We need to get more input, and we need for our members, White Earth represents over half of the MCT membership. And we need to be, we need to ask for input as to going forward and supporting our, these different issues. So I know that the elders and members have came to some of our meetings and stuff like that, and we're really happy that you're interested in that. One of the things that we're currently doing is that we're going to ask that our meetings by Zoom will be held in May. We have 3 scheduled that people can chime in and watch us on, Zoom if they can and stuff like that. We did have a community meeting here at Shooting Star in March, and we hardly had any participation. It was a Saturday, and maybe everybody's busy on the weekend, most people work and stuff, so we didn't have very good participation. That's hard to bring it back now to what it was, 2.5 years ago, so. But just kind of watch for that. Like I said, White Earth will be hosting a meeting here in July. So you'll all be, invited to come. But on a positive note, I just wanted to say that we do once again have our 10 delegates. District 3 just had an election, and hopefully those 2 delegate candidates will accept. And like I said, our Zoom meetings, 3 dates are listed, which you can join. Educational in-person meetings are to be scheduled by the respective delegate in their communities. So your delegates should be scheduling some upcoming meetings as to, getting your input, answering your questions, so. Also, just on another good note is that we have adopted a code of conduct, and we have approved it for our delegates going forward. That was developed and approved in January. Let me see here.
Could you let us know who the delegates are?
I got that on the list here.
They'll give you a copy. They'll give you a copy of the thing.
I can read it too, so for your audience. District 1, we have the delegates are Angel Stevens and Celeste Cloud. District 2 is Patty Straub and Mikey Brown. District 3 is Emily Annette and Pauline Kieser, pending, their acceptance to become a delegate. That just happened on Friday. And our Metro delegate is Sybil Gunn. Bleach Lake delegate is Jolynn Donnell. Iron Range is Louis Johansson. And our at-large delegate is Raymond Belcourt. So that is all of the information. I hope that I kind of updated you. Go ahead, Tito.
Can you, when you have your meetings, just let us know, because we don't really like to do Zoom.
Yeah.
So we'd rather just come to the meeting.
Yes, we will. Thank you. Any other questions?
Celeste's last name, please.
Cloud?
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you, Patty.
Good job, Patty.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you, Patty, and thank you, delegation, for that report. Next up, we have the community council reports. I know they're in here, so.
Mr. Chair, if I may, I can read Apple Lake and Whiter.
Yes, Callaway you could do, or I think next up is Callaway here.
Callaway don't have a council yet, that's something that, hopefully we'll be working on soon.
Okay, thank you, Annie. Cass Lake, they didn't send nothing. I know they've been having their meetings on the first Tuesday of the month, I do believe. And you can contact Rick Holland or Joel and Tail over there. Those two are setting up the meeting, so contact them. Next up is Elbow Lake. Annie, you wanna do that one?
Yep. This is what Elbow Lake Community Council submitted. We held elections in January. Pauline Keiser was elected secretary, and in February, Philip Blue resigned as vice chairman. Each month, we hold events in the community. January, we held our own Let's Make a Deal game show. We had fishing poles, fishing equipment, and other items for the contestants to win. February, we encourage all people to attend the fishing derby on Northwind Lake. We made and served chili for the fishermen, served approximately 350 people. March, our activity, Cooking with Kids, was about being safe in the kitchen, using knives, how to cool a burn, and fire safety. Children demonstrated stop, drop, and roll. We also made soup and cookies in a jar for the participants to make it at home. April, we held an Easter party with games and candy. May, we are starting a walking club, Walking Warriors, walking on Wednesday nights starting May 17th at 6 p.m. We will also address topics such as what do we do if we find needles, drug paraphernalia. Best way to remove a tick, poison ivy identification, pool and water safety tips. Each week we will also demonstrate how to make a healthy snack for them to enjoy. May, spring planning theme. June, Hope Camp community meal. July 4th celebration. The Boys and Girls Club is not active in the community. They had extensive water damage to the building. Our kids are not being serviced. We have hopes that the building will be fixed so the kids have a place to go this summer. We have Hope Camp coming to the community in June and do not have a place for them to set up unless police. I did that. Hello.
Testing. This one's all dim too, maybe we'll just switch batteries.
Unless the boys.
Yeah, see, Grace.
39 to the County Road 3 on Highway 113 from Elbow Lake. We have assisted the Whiter Co-op team in hosting and passing out flyers for the community meeting. We had 10 adults in attendance. Miigwech.
I can do that. I get to Iron Range, or the White Urban office, when you get to it.
Okay, next up is Iron Range. Benomen. Natawash. Pine Point. Rice Lake. Urban.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I got the Urban Community Council report, the RBC from Charlie. Bujuanin, request to RBC for ongoing support in the urban community and White Urban Community Council. The new year started with a new transition. Ryan Salmon resigned as chair to take on a position as the urban liaison, so Marcy Hart, who is the vice chair, became interim chair. This month was devoted to working on amending bylaws and code of ethics. The White Urban Community Council also started the planning for the year on the events, activities, and budget. Annette Christensen started implementing the White Urban Community Council, White Urban Community Council Facebook business page, which is a work in progress. Bonnie Boudreau will continue the White Urban Community News Facebook page, where there are 1.1K members. Sybil Brunn brought information on the upcoming election for one alternate, which is held in March. Congratulations to Bonnie Boudreau, who was voted in as alternate for the metro area. February was continuation of the Whitehorse Urban Community Council transition as Marcy Hart resigned as interim chair. The bylaws and code of ethics were amended and voted on with changes on a number of officers. Whitehorse Urban Community Council made changes to the number of officers to accommodate RBC policy, which a chair, vice chair, secretary, treasurer, and community at large board member. Seated officers are Al Paulson, interim chair, Annette Christensen, vice chair, Charlie, secretary, Bonnie Boudreau, treasurer, and Allison Dakota as the community at large board member. All seated officers were on the election ballot in 2022, elected by the Whitehorse membership. Whitehorse Urban Community Council held a media training for elders where they could get help in maneuvering around their phones. We also partnered with Carl from the National Telephone Services from St. Cloud with free phones for elders. Whitehorse Urban Community Council purchased tablets where were set up with free internet. Whitehorse Urban Community Council held a elders Valentine's party with 52 elders and guests had an enjoyable time. Food was catered by Christina Valera, Native Food Perspectives, and music was provided by DJ Matt, Book of Matthew Entertainment, for karaoke and dancing. Gift cards were given as well as hearts and bags of trinkets of candy. Mary Abraham from DIW Grandparents Raising Grandchildren program visited with elders about her program. The Whitehorse Urban Community Council had elders fill out surveys in regards to their wants and what they would like to see for projects, training, and events. From the survey, Whitehorse Urban Community Council was able to use the information for the yearly planning and budget. March, with the help and support from the RBC, we were able to acquire office space to work out of. We are now housed at the Minnesota Chippewa Tribe Building, which is located on Franklin Avenue. We're able to use the facilities for events, trainings, and have the regular monthly meetings. The area is easily accessible for members to get to. We held our first Elders Luncheon Bingo monthly event. With elders, guests, and volunteers, there were 32 in attendance. We had hold on a second. We had the competition of the powwow. We had completion of powwow in St. Paul, but those that attended the potluck had an enjoyable time eating, playing bingo, and visiting. I messed up something there. So, Carl from the National Telephone Company. She's repeating herself here. Carl from the National Telephone Company was available with free phones and purchased tablets for the elders. April, Whitehorse Urban Community Council is coordinating with Division of Indian Works in Little Canada to deliver food boxes with meat for emergencies. We all start with 20 boxes and will increase once we see what the need is. We will be coordinating with Boyce Ford, Fond du Lac, and Leech Lake to have events, groups. They are also housed in the MCT building. Whitehorse Urban Community Council is working on coordinating a monthly meeting with tribal community councils in the metro area. I had conversations with Boyce Ford, Fond du Lac, Mille Lacs, and Red Lake to focus on the resources and needs and tribal members in the metro. We held a second Elders Luncheon Bingo April, and attendance was low due to the weather. But it was nice to sit and visit and, of course, eat delicious food. On May 18th, during Indian Month, we, along with other offices and tribes in MCT building, will be having an ice cream social. Public is invited. Whitehorse Urban Community Council will be having an Elders Bingo Luncheon on the 3rd Saturday of May. Whitehorse Urban Community Council will be holding the annual picnic on July 8th. Do you get that, Tito? The Whitehorse Urban Community Council will be holding their annual picnic on July 8th. The plans are in the works and they are also coordinating their first powwow. Any advice is much appreciated. Again, Chimigwich RBC for ongoing support. Respectfully submitted by Charlie, Secretary, Warriors Urban Community Council. Al Paulson, interim chair, Annette Christensen, vice chair, Bonnie Boudreau, treasurer, Charlie, secretary, and Allison Dakota, community at large board member. Big wish.
Thank you. Is Wabin here? And last is Whiters. Annie, do you have that written down?
Okay, the White Earth Community Council held their Easter party on April 8th, 2023. We had approximately 275 participants. Door prize drawings were held for the children and 5 Easter dinner baskets were drawn for the families in the community that attended. We are currently working on policies that will be implemented into the use of the White Earth Community Center. We are also working on raffles to raise money for upcoming events we have planned. Bingo for 18 plus will be held on May 17th, 6 to 9. We will be sending out an invite for all community members who are able to help assemble the new playground equipment. We will also be cleaning the center grounds and we'll have a light meal for those who can come help. May 21st at 9 a.m. WECC is looking into planting a small community garden, looking for tiller, black dirt, and seeds. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to one of our White Earth Community Council members. Paula Smith is the chair, Sue Hanks vice chair, Shannon Heisler secretary treasurer, Candace Smith, and Maria Bevins. That's it.
Thank you, Annie, for giving that update, and thank you, community councils, for sending their reports, and we appreciate it. Moving on to old business, we have a couple tabled items here that we're reviewing again. I know that they're out in Pine Point, and I'm not sure, Annie, if you have any updates on these or anything that Lori and Curtis have some solutions on? Or do you want to wait till we get Henry to come back, or?
Yeah, I think we should wait till we have a full council.
Okay.
And maybe talk to behavioral health and see what they can help with.
Okay, yeah, we'll move these, we'll table them for until next meeting, but we will have some type of action on them. So the table items was the Pine Point Powell Committee request and also Pine Point Township Board request, and I know that we have to get some, we have to review them some more, so let me which. Next up on the agenda is new business. We have MCT enrollment data request form from, for an enrollment book, and that goes, who was that requested by? The police department PD wanted an enrollment book pertaining to, do you know, what was the reason why they needed it?
I think one of the reasons why they need an enrollment book is because they have to verify enrollments when they do their, I think it's civil regulatory offenses and stuff like that. I believe that's what it was for. We were trying to get access to the, you know, the MCT. They got that, what's that database that they do for enrollments? It's live data. And we were trying to get access to that for dispatch to be able to just look at it live. But then, because they were going to eliminate some of the sending out all these enrollment books, and I was going to say stuff like that, but I'm not going to say that.
I'm watching.
But no, it's to verify. It's to verify when an officer pulls over a member and just verifying their enrollment. I think that's what it looks for.
Yeah, and then I know in the Monona County Compact Agreement that it states in there that Monona County has to verify enrollment too, so it is in our compact, so I think we should move on it.
Well, I think that's something in the near future that we're gonna have a more broader conversation of this. I know that we're gonna have to look at different things. I think that we have a lot of Anishinaabe people that live on a reservation that, you know, so that's what I'm saying, is that we have to look at how can we benefit all of us, you know, so. Because I think that one of the things that I advocate for in some of the legislation was this year is like our lack of funding from the state of Minnesota and also our public law 280 in our jurisdiction that, our police force is that, we use a lot of our gaming proceeds to our general fund that goes into our to protect and serve our people, and that's everyone within our borders. And I know right now that we don't get nothing back from the counties or from the state and whatnot. So I'm just saying that I think that we have to look at it probably maybe a better, robust way of how we're dealing with band members across within our borders and how we police them. So I think it's something that we should look at. Maybe it might be a bigger thing, but maybe we could look at even with the delegation with the TEC. So Minnesota Chippewa Tribe. So, but that's what I'm saying.
I just have one thing to say about that, and that's keeping our members' information confidential. So I guess I'd like to know who's gonna be accessing it and stuff like that. That was rubbing off on me, but yeah.
Yeah, the only people that be accessing is dispatch. And dispatch is locked and secure. And it's only gonna be White Earth and Rollies.
Well,
Do we need a motion on it?
To talk about was that.
Is it discussion or do we gotta?
Do we discussion or do we need a motion
We
for
have
it?
to motion on it.
Okay, yeah, I motion to.
Chairman, do you have some discussion on it?
Well, that's what I was just saying, that
Okay.
we should have that's something that we gotta bring to our delegation is like, why are we following this law that we don't abide by all tribal nations within our borders, that we accept their enrollments as part of, instead of giving them a state ticket.
Oh, I understand what you're saying,
Then
Chairman.
why are we giving them a tribal ticket?
Well, if you wanna, we can get out of here in time if we have to go over that. Speaking of Lenny Finde, our former general counsel, we talked a little bit about some Supreme Court decisions on the civil regulatory for tribes. Before, we used to be able to cite any federally recognized tribal member into our civil regulatory court. But there was a Supreme Court decision that went bad that only allowed us to only cite our own members only. So that happened under what's the name of it, the civil regulatory, how did it become, what's that court case that determined that. But anyways, that's why we only cite our own members, and that's why we have the book just for White Earth. Until that changes again, we can only cite our own tribal members into our court. Leech Lake can only do it.
That's a broad discussion.
It is a broad discussion.
Yes, and that's on a regular, because I know Joe Plummer said this too, our older general counsel had concerns with this too, and I know that we as the Minnesota Chippewa tribe, remember, the Minnesota Chippewa tribe is also federally registered, that we're still part of that still too. So I mean, in reality, we're all Minnesota Chippewa tribe card members too. We all get cards from the MCT. So I mean, in a way, we're gonna have in ordinance, and this is something that we're gonna talk to Antonio about, is that we could create something that we recognize Minnesota Chippewa tribe because we are part of Minnesota Chippewa tribe. So I'm just saying that I think that we have to we're gonna have to have a planning committee on this or something to get this straightened out and get a legal thing in our own ordinance, so.
Yeah, that would be our, Antonio, it would be our administrative tickets that we can develop.
Well, it's a
I
bit.
mean, if concurrent state jurisdiction comes through for our tribal police departments, then it allows us to do an administrative ticket, so we can cite other Minnesota Chippewa tribe members, other federally recognized tribes, and we can also cite with them submitting to our jurisdiction, non-natives even, to bring in revenue. So those are those things that we talk about as far as our state concurrent jurisdiction, what opens the door for that, so.
Yeah, we're working on it.
We've been working on it for a while, so. It's called an administrative ticket.
Okay, so back to the Minnesota Chippewa tribe enrollment book, do we still wanna go down this path with this, or do you wanna wait till the committee?
Well, Chairman, I guess that it's in our compact agreements right now, so I mean, I don't think, if we don't have this information, we won't be able to, accurately, and updated information, we won't be able to accurately determine who's in our
Verification of enrollment.
we won't be able to verify enrollments, and I think, if we still have the same compact agreements, then I think we should move on this to,
You did a motion.
okay, I need the motion, so.
I'll second it. I'll second it.
I'm silent only because, I think we should have a full council for this one myself. So, you know, and with District 1 out right now, I'd rather have a full council. So I'm gonna vote silent, or no. I'll just say no right now. Miigwech.
Table it or?
Well, I think, Annie does bring up a good point that we should have Henry here, especially if we tabled the last two. I think that we maybe, it's not like we need the book today. We're, in reality, you still have to have your tribal enrollment card when you do get pulled over. So I know we have things in action right now, but I think with dispatch, I think that's something that, like you said, we're getting into a whole different, more gamut here of information that, so.
Chairman, there's a motion on the floor.
We'll move to table it. If you guys want to table it, move to table it before you vote.
We'd have to rescind our motions though.
Well, there could be multiple motions on the table, and if you want to table it, you can move to table it, and it'll table.
Well, I think we can.
If you don't, then you have to.
Well, we're gonna meet next week.
Yeah, we can discuss it.
Well, we're gonna meet next week too, so, it's not like, we need this done today, so we are meeting next week, so.
So how do I, Antonio, how do I rescind my motion?
You can move to rescind it, or you can move to table it. There can be multiple motions on the table.
I'd like to rescind my motion.
Motion by Eugene to rescind that motion.
Rescind my second.
Rescind second by Secretary Treasurer LaRock.
Rescind mine. No.
Motion to table. Which motion to table it?
Second.
Okay, motion to table, motion by Mike LaRock, second by Eugene, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries, thank you.
Don't look away from me yet.
Yes.
So I just wanted to, we were pretty excited by the survey that we did at the State of the Band. Is there, what will become of that, and will we be able to learn what you're gonna do with it about a grocery store?
Oh.
That is so important for us. You know, we have to run all over Detroit Lakes or Bemidji or, you know, to get some reasonable prices on.
That was our cooperative.
Yeah, so we had our Zach Page, he used to be our food sovereignty coordinator, so he's working with our folks on getting that out, and we just had a meeting with them on the co-op and regarding like where the food's gonna come from and all that. I guess at our next meeting, I'll have an update for you, okay?
It's a good thing though, Tito, it is.
That was,
Yeah, it was a good thing, I know they have a couple grants that they're using right now for information and surveys, and I know one of the things that it was exciting for us to hear, so thank you, Tito. All right, next up is the consent agenda. On the consent agenda, we have quite a few things. We have MDH Community-Based Suicide Prevention Grant, University of Minnesota Agreement and Resolution, CAA-SABG Grant Extension, ARPA COVID Grant Extension, Pedigree Technologies Contract, Target Opioid Use and Misuse Prevention Treatment Services Resolution, Child Care License Renewal, Language Project Coordinator, Behavioral Health Remodel Change Order, White Earth Family Treatment Remodel Outpatient Contract, Lead Plumbing, White Earth Congregate Kitchen Remodel Contract, White Earth Congregate Kitchen Remodel Contract, White Earth Family Treatment Remodel Outpatient Contract, Manoma Boys Club's Notice of Awards, Ridgeway Apartment Building EPAC Contract, White Earth Family Treatment Remodel Outpatient Facility, Nadawash Health Center, White Earth Family Treatment Contract, H&R Septic, White's Family Treatment, Fortplex Notice of Awards. Also, Monoman Homeless Shelter VHR Contract Amendment, Monoman Boys and Girls Club Contract, Base Electric, Data Washington EMP Remodel Change Order, 2023 Travel Materials Infant Early Childhood Grant, some contracts and resolutions with a couple of members, MOU with West Central Minnesota EMS, Tiro Business Certificate, Dove Program, Minnesota Department of Public Safety Grant, FHPAP Grant, Minnesota DHS CEO Hunger Solution Emergency Response Food Grant, letter of support from Monoman Health Center, funding request, no, I think, is that gonna be in,
Yeah, it's gonna be a discussion for executive.
so, yeah, we'll have to pull that one out, because that's gonna be in our executive session, so. EPA, Water Quality Solutions Rulemaking, 2 LLCs, 2021 timber sale contracts, 2023 timber sale contracts, lease agreements, Bagley Casino Fee to Trust escrow agreement. Finally, we're gonna have our casino in Bagley gonna be in trust, so that's a good thing for all of us, so be good. Behavioral Health, the CAA SABA grant extension, Monoman Boys Club, Boys and Girls Club Notice of Awards, ratification, FHPAP grant application, EPA water standards and rulemaking, and also natural resources, okay, we talked about that, okay. So the trust there, so, but motion with changes to, for the consent agenda.
I was able to read through it, so I'll motion.
Okay, motion by Hattie, with the changes, we're moving that.
Yes, with the changes.
Second.
Second by Eugene, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you.
Well, that's a big.
Motion.
The ratifications.
Motion to rescind.
Just that one, letter of support. Where's your right? You read the ratification, so it was in the end.
Okay, we have some ratifications here. Education, we have the ESSER Summer Enrichment Grant, the state Head Start Pathway to Learning Scholarship Grant application, the Newman contract, MDH Tribal Public Health Infrastructure Grant, the IHS 105 lease renewal, the letter of intent for 2024, the EO grant, the Dove program, U.S. Department of Justice, 2023 Tribal Grant Program, Dove 2023 Sexual Assault Services Grant, the Dove 2023 Rural Domestic and Assault During Violence, another grant, letter of support. This is from Natural Resources, FEMA, and HSEM award. We got USDA grant, annual TIPO grant for program, the BIA enforcement grant application from Public Safety, Public Works has bus and bus facilities grant application, and also the White Land Department, the Bushnell property letter of non-interference letter. So, but that's part of the trust land too. And also we have letter regarding MH, the NEB Monoman Symposium that we helped out with, the 2023 Indigenous Games, discount block for rooms for MIAC meeting, comment for Becker County for proposed ZERM project, the TUC appointments, and also the wild rice approval to lift the 10-pound limit. So a motion to approve the ratifications.
Mr. Chairman, and the other one where it says letter regarding MH, what is that, what is MH? Monoman Health Center, mental health?
It's the overpayment letter, Mike.
Oh, okay, all right, okay, okay,
All right, second.
okay, thank you. Yeah,
You got it?
yeah, we got it.
Okay, we got it, so we need a motion for the ratifications.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mike Larock,
Second.
second by Annie, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you, Miigwech. All right, everyone,
We're gonna, it's tabled for discussion, or it's brought to an executive for discussion.
Yeah.
So,
She got a question. Right?
yes, Miss.
I get not really a question.
Comment.
At one time.
Right here.
Oh, yeah. Just what happened here. Okay, at one time there was mention of a funeral home being brought on White Earth by White Earth people or something. And I just have a article that I seen today about enrollees members that have passed away and they had a problem with this. Another one. I just got off the phone with C's Funeral Home. I've never been treated so horribly. First, he keeps making reference to my sister Wade and how it would be so much more difficult for them. Then he said, I need to pay for everything up front. When I told him to stop talking in a false sense of serenity and to stop making reference to my sister's Wade, to show some respect and that I could pay some but not all of the money right now. He said there was a lack of trust and we would not be able to work together. My sister is being moved to Whispering Pines and Walker. I just cannot believe he treated me that way. So if there was a funeral home or whether somewhere like funded by the council or the tribe, that it would be more beneficial or people would understand our traditions, our respect and everything.
Like I said before, there's, with the funeral homes, I have one coming into our meeting next month, but there's been a lot of times people have gone and there's a lot of controversy over, is the tribe gonna pay for this, or, you know, do we have to go to the county? So it's when people are hurting, they shouldn't be treated with disrespect, and it's just like this lady was. I think we have to figure out some way, if you're going to pay monies towards the funeral homes for us, that there be better treatment for our people. So thanks.
Thank you, Tito.
Thank you, Tim and Missy. I know that we talked about this here not too long ago. We talked about what other nations next door to us are doing. I know that we talked about insurance policies. We talked about different, you know, leech lake, what Red Lake is doing. You know, so we are looking into some different things. So, and I'm glad you brought that to our attention, and I guess I have prayers for that family. So.
On that issue, we've had some issues out in Pine Point. I know we had a couple of people, they turned them away from almost every funeral home. Dunhauer, who basically poor people built. You know, they made them what they are. And they're not taking them. Anderson's won't take any unless they're basically veterans or Social Security. Old enough for Social Security, some of them. What I found is I worked with a lot of funeral homes, with funerals out in Pine Point. Chilson down in Winstead is a pretty much native, they're native friendly, and we had one young man, well, he wasn't a young man, he was an elder, and the last one that we had, and they couldn't find him, and they finally ended up going to Northern Peace in Bemidji and Walker. And they, you know, I get tired of looking at these pale blue caskets all the time and stuff. When my family died, my aunt, my grandma, I would go and dig the grave just to upgrade it to something better. And Northern Peace and Walker has got some of the most beautiful caskets you've ever seen. Made for natives especially. They got arrows on around the sides and the handles and stuff. And beautiful pure white caskets for ladies and stuff. And they have no problem with those. And it comes down to a point of, I know we've talked about, like Cass Lake's got or Beach Lake's got, about insurance policy for funerals and stuff. I don't know if you guys have done anything with that.
we're working on it, we're working on some challenges we're having, so we are talking about it, so.
Well, thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. Before we go on break here, motion to go into executive session.
I have something to say.
No, we're already going to executive session, so.
Motion by Eugene.
Of course, disrespect, continuous. Mike Fairbanks. I am a veteran. I have the right to speak.
Oh, yeah, you can speak. You're gonna be able to speak in executive session. We're gonna give you, we're gonna give you a chance to do it again, so. We're gonna give you your 5 minutes in executive session.
The tribe
I
needs
second
to
you
hear.
on executive session.
The tribe needs to hear how I was wrongly terminated.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, everyone that said
carries.
aye, you have just stepped beyond the boundaries
We're on
of your
break.
obligation.